Welcome, everybody, to episode number 3 of the Charles Johnson Summer League podcast. I'm your host, Antonio Aponte, and today we have a special guest with us today. It's the commissioner himself, Mario Signorello. Mario, thank you so much for joining. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to these 3 games today, and then all really excited by AllStar Weekend that we got.
That's right. AllStar Weekend's right around the corner. But before we get to that, let's just talk about how the league has been doing up to this point. So let's get right into it. 30 players have joined since opening day, Mario. I know that's a figure you're happy to hear. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, that's a stupid number. And sometimes this is our second year. Last year was a learning process, and this year the move to Fort Lauderdale area was really tricky with a lot of moving parts to it. So we work hard. You don't realize what you're doing because you can't look or edit your own work. But the fact that we pick up 30 players means the players like what's going on because they talk. And they're coming from other leagues. They're coming from other places. So the umpires told me the talent level has definitely risen this year. And in the dugout, you could tell the coaching level overall has risen. We got 2 great coaches back, and the ones that we got in, just like in your dugout, Coach Nino having from Lynn, having Chief, having Adriano with 10 years experience from Brazil with the Tampa Bay Rays. It just raised the overall quality of what we're doing, and players talk to each other. So the same way, so whatever leagues, wherever they were before, the fact that they're jumping to us and nobody's jumping out of our league means we're doing something right.
Absolutely. And I think that's definitely been one of the points for us and getting some new teams next season as well. And I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit and moving towards the future. And I know you probably just want to get through this weekend, All-Star Weekend, but come on, give me a little bit about the new teams that we're thinking about joining our league.
Well, I don't want to see any names because they need to finish out where they are right now. It's kind of what they sold me. One of them's coming from Palm Beach League, which has been around for a while. Has been around for a while, and all these are unsolicited. I'm not going after. We're not. All we want to do. I've said from the beginning. What do you expect from your league? We want to put on the best opponent, the best product that we can, when organically that will take care of themselves. I don't see us as competition for everybody else. There's plenty of room to be playing out there, and South Florida is a hotbed for talent. So one of the teams is going to come over from that league. There's another league. There's another team that has been established for a long time and has been playing on a different circuit, but now want a more structured environment. Want to be able to come with us. And then there's a collegiate. Team from one particular school that wants to be able to participate with in what we're doing. So there's some other really good things on the horizon, but as I said, all 3 of those were unsolicited, called in, and won in.
That's great. So let's circle back a little bit back to our league and something you said, that there's a lot of talent level so far that we've seen through the first half. Anyone stick out to you? Anyone from here? Any of our international prospects stick out?
A little bit of everything, to be honest with you. I mean, you guys got 2 pictures of throw in the 90s. Having Handel from Handel, the pitcher from the Dominican Republic. His brother's AAA with the Mets, so he's only a step behind. And this kid's just grown up in that environment. He knows how to pitch. He's 6'3". He's going to fill out. He's going to be throwing the ball a lot harder. So to have somebody like that in our dugout coming around there, and he's not even the hardest thrower on your team. Isaiah Nino is. Jonah Backstro from the Beach Bums. You can definitely see a difference when year 1 and year 2. He was coming out of high school last year, going to Palm Beach State, and he just looks. If he would have thrown more innings yesterday, you guys would have lost. You wouldn't hit him. He was on top of his game, and he wanted to throw against you guys, and wanted the ball. The shortstop for their team, Ulysses Rodriguez, is a really good closer, and the Panthers team is coming. The Bahamas yesterday had 2 guys in 1 inning thrown out, and they've got a guy who runs a 6'1", 860 on there, and this kid threw him out twice. One of my proudest moments was 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday. Every single team won a game that day, and not everybody played double headers. We go down to St. Thomas University, where their baseline program, which is made up of different programs, are playing over there, and our teams play games, and right now I think we're 5-2 against them. So that I'm also proud of. Also proud of that. A lot of eyes are on the big first baseman you guys got, 6'7", 215 pounds, Don Turnstall, from the Netherlands. A lot of people were interested in before COVID. He's been training in the Dominican Republic, but they don't play. They train a lot and play games. They don't. So he came here, so this way he can face the different level of competition that we've got. There's a catcher who's coming back from injury. Kevin Hirsch plays with the Tide. This kid can absolutely rake. One of the Division II schools is coming. Want to know how he's available? Well, he's coming off injury. He had first COVID hit, and then coming off injury, so it's kind of been a secret. But I think this guy's crushed like 4 home runs, and they're all Rockets.
Kevin Hirsch is an old friend of mine.
Yeah.
I
Kevin,
know a lot about Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin. When I spoke to the school today, one of the guys that's helping them out said, "Yeah, I remember him well. He hit 3 home runs against us in high school."
Yeah, he was at Cardinal Givens. He was great, man.
But
He's a good kid too.
Right, and those are kind of some of what our stories are. Somebody's come back from injury, somebody that don't know, a kid that from the Netherlands that wants to be able to expose, a kid from the DR that wants to get some good innings in against good competition. All those kind of combine to raise the standard of our league.
Right. And those are just international guys scattered along the board. We're one of the only, probably the only summer league that has a team solely dedicated to an international squad, and that's obviously the Bahamas. What do you have to say about them so far, and how they've been able to make the trip here and play ball? And
they're a lot of fun to watch. And I want to thank the Tampa Rays and the RBI program for sending us 4 players that they helped sponsor to come over, participate in our league, and play on their team. I think we're the only thing in the country that's got a team that has an entry of a team that's based out of from another country. But our company, Caribbean Baseball Organization, which the Charles Johnson League is one of the properties of, has been doing a international event for 6 years, and we've also been doing an event in the Bahamas for 10 years. As a matter of fact, next weekend, Thursday through Sunday, there's a collegiate level team that I'm taking over there to play against a 3-game friendly series in the Bahamas. So that's opened up a lot of doors for us. And have their kids over here, it's a lot of baseball for them. It's very hot over here, but it's not. They're kind of used to that. There's a little bit more of a breeze because it's an island, but having them in there just raises a lot of energy. People want to be able to play them. People want to be, when they threw a couple kids in. Yesterday was a great game. 2 kids got thrown out, and then a prospect who's going to be signing a professional contract hits a 3-run homer with 1 out, with 2 outs in the last inning to
win the game. Yeah, that was a great moment. That was an awesome moment.
All those things bring a great level of energy, and the academy that they're coming out of has got through that and another academy in the Bahamas the last 2 years, iElite and Max D. Combined, those 2 academies have produced 17 minor league players have signed professional contracts from the Bahamas just in the last 6 years alone. So for us to have them in our league and be able to seeing them in day in and day out has really raised the bar. When they played a game against the Australians, I counted 10 major league scouts that were there the other day at the game, being able to watch it. But the international world comes to Palm Beaches to give us a footprint. So besides the Bahamas team, we have 4 players from Puerto Rico. We have 3 players from Israel. We have 2 players from Hungary. We have 2 players from the Netherlands. We got several players from the Dominican Republic and a couple from Venezuela that are participating with us this summer. And that right there also gives us a little different distinction from everybody else.
Absolutely. It's really cool just to see all, a pool of international guys just come over.
I forgot the 2 players from Hungary too.
Yes, we do have a Hungarian player.
Who wouldn't think? But these 2 brothers just fell in love with baseball, and one of them was a Division II player last year. The other one's got a rocket of an arm, and they add to the mix that we've got.
Right. Absolutely. So going on based off all the stuff you said and you know, how Charles Johnson's come to help out with, obviously with the league, it being his name on the brand and all. He's not the only former major league player that's come out and participated with our league. How are you able to get such a influence? How to get influential Major League Baseball players to come over to the league and help out? It's something you don't see often.
Well, part of it's the philosophy, and the other part of it is I'm retired front office for 15 years with the Miami Marlins, so I've made a lot of connections in my day, and worked with a lot of the alumni, a lot of players that have played before in a positive manner, and I work with the ones that we know want to be able to work out with. So far, besides CJ, and by the way, CJ is just not a figurehead. CJ's here.
That's right.
CJ did a catching clinic. CJ is going to show up in the dugout one day and just come in there and just sit down and just observe. And he's there for questions to be able to be answered. Alex Arias is going to be a guest coach on Sunday, and he'll be in the dugout for the AllStar game. Luis Alicea, a slick infielder with the Boston Red Sox, St. Louis Cardinals, will be out there on the training session this week. And then Mark Whitten, who's in really was the one who led the charge to get us the players from Tampa RBI. He's been out there twice, and the other day he watched the game, and then he talked to the players after the game. But one of our other players who's really on the rise is Tommy Ramos. He's a 6'2", 228-pound first third baseman playing with the Bahamas team. He's out of South Florida. He's looking for a school, and he's really put his nose to the grindstone to be able to play. And he's got a lot of talent. And Mark watched him when he saw Mark the other day, and Mark had spoken to the team, and he had spoken to them before. He wanted to try and press him, and he tried to turn on a pitch that was a little bit outside and ended up striking out. Well, by the time Mark came over to him, he says, "Look what your approach. You were trying to overswing. You were trying to impress. That's not the way you do things." The first guy, he says, "You took a pitch which was good." He goes, and Mark explained to him, he goes, "That was a really good pitch." And he goes, "No, it's a new pitcher out there. He'd thrown 4 balls before. You take the first pitch, and you got to understand, whenever you take the first pitch, it's always going to look fat because you look like you're not going to be able to switch with it. But then you need to prepare yourself for the next pitch. Where was the catcher lining up? Was he going to try a breaking ball with it? Where were you going to line up? You had a man on third with less than 2 outs. Your goal is to get the ball in the air in a tight ball game and get that in. By the time he was done with Tommy, he never got even to the part where the pitch was actually thrown that struck him out. He showed him all the different mental preparation that it was to be able to get there. And that's really what we're trying to do is to teach the mental aspect. It's not just playing baseball games. It's not just, there's 200 players in every major league organization. 50 of them are under the age of 21. So that means that the other 150, all of them are gifted, but 25 are in the show and the other 125 are getting there. What's the difference? It's that little intangible that makes the difference. It's the way you walk on the field. It's the way you walk off the field. It's the way you pay attention to your coach. It's, do you run out ground balls? Or if you pop one up, do you sulk? All those things are part of the mental game to be able to come in. Mark Whitten had 4 home runs and 12 RBIs in one baseball game. That was the first RBI. He had no RBIs for the first 3 weeks.
Wow.
First 3 weeks of that month, and then he got off. Be able to do it, but he kept his mental stage there. Alex Arias was the leading pinch hitter, highest batting average in Major League history, 320 as a pinch hitter. He mentally had to prepare himself every game to come off that bench. He had to watch who the other pitchers are. He might not get in a game, but he had to look at the situation and be able to be prepared for it. And it elongated his career, and he became the best ever at it. These are things that we try and get across to the kids that are in here. It's not just about swinging. It's not just about throwing. There's a lot more that goes into this game.
Absolutely. And all of that has, brought out so much talent and a lot of good things that we've been seeing. And I've been posting on social media, and guys are just sending me home runs every day. And it's just a lot of good things that are going on. And it's led us to the big moment. It's All-Star Weekend. I want to talk about it. Tell me what's going on. We got 10 college coaches already confirmed to show up. We're gonna have a home run derby, a futures game, uncommitted game, and of course the big all-star game. I'm super excited. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what you're excited about. Tell us what to look out for because we all want to know.
Well, you kind of stole my thunder a little bit there,
I
Tony.
stole all of it. I'm excited.
But no,
I'm excited.
that's good because we can see your enthusiasm with it. It's funny. The other day, in the really close game that was between the Tide team, who's really talented, and the Beach Bums, who are defending champs, and with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, the kid or top of the 7th, the kid hit a 3-run inside the park to put him in the lead, and he probably celebrated a little too much. He's a Division II player in the Sunshine State Conference, and it probably went over a little bit more than it should have. Well, the coach spoke to him, and he spoke up afterwards, and then all was well at the end. But in the end, he came over and he apologized to me, which I respect a lot. But the other part I said is I appreciate your enthusiasm that these games are this competitive that brought out that enthusiasm. So we want to curb your enthusiasm a little bit more, but it's just exciting when people get that, when people are that into what we're doing. Our futures game is for uncommitted players, and we got a bunch of them, and that was part of what we did. And I told the players, we probably had about 6 or 8 guys who already found colleges that have been in here. Last year, the number was 14, so I expect to be able to get that number up a lot. I think it's 9 or 10 different colleges. Some of them are flying in from out of state to be able to be here, to be able to witness it. We're going to start out with the 60 times, then they're going to take BP, then they're going to take IO, and then it's get after it with the futures game with all the college coaches will be in there. In between there, we've got our home run derby. One person from each team will be involved with that, and then it's the all-star game. And the way we pick the all-star game is kind of unique. It's not a north and a south or an east and a west. We take the all-stars, we put them by position, and then there's a blind draw on there. So you may be playing against your own teammate in the all-star game, which was kind of unique because last year a guy got hit and he says, we don't know who to be mad at because there was one teammate hit another teammate when they were playing at it. And it also breaks down the barriers and shows everybody that the guy that makes a lot of noise is really a good guy. He just enjoys playing the game. And that's the judicious mix that me as an event manager is always trying to mix is what point do we take when you have the Latin influence, there's a lot of enthusiasm. They love playing the game. We don't want to taper that, but we do want to try and blend it. So when you're mixing 8 different countries, it takes a little bit of adjustment on everybody's end. But I think if the proof is in the numbers. 30 new kids since opening day, and 3 new teams want to join the league. So whatever we're doing so far, it's well received.
Absolutely. So anything exciting going on this weekend? We already had one big promotion going on Friday, last Friday night. Anything outside of the ballpark? Outside of the field?
Thanks for asking that. Well, we wanted to, and my background with the Marlins comes in different creating different programs. My job with the Marlins was to try and get kids in South Florida to grow up as Marlins fans. There are 3 things in life I believe you can't change: your birth date, your social security number, and your favorite childhood baseball team. And with most of South Florida from somewhere else, my job wasn't to convert the parent. My job was to get the kid in there. And David Sampson, the former president of the Marlins, said, I know Mario's doing his job when the dad shows up in a Met or Yankee shirt and the kid shows up in a Marlins uniform. And taking that aspect of it, we wanted to make the ballpark a fun place to be able to play. Mm-hmm. So our concessionaire and coming out will be there was there last Friday. We'll be at the All-Star game. We'll also be at the All-Star game is the world famous University of Miami milkshakes that are run by Acme Concessions. He's been 33 years at UM. And if you ask any player that's been there, any opposing player comes in there, you gotta get a milkshake. And last week when he was there, he sold out.
Wow.
In record time. So it'll be more prepared this time. You can also get your car washed when you come into the game, or you can get a haircut. So people always have to budget time for a haircut, get your car washed, but you don't have to. You're going to the game. That's part of the game. You're there. It's not a special task to be able to come out there. We also had a bat. We also had a bat company that was on display there. So watch good baseball. Watch international baseball. Watch some rising college kids. Get a haircut. Get your car washed. Have a milkshake. Not too many. They're really heavy. And watch some great baseball. We've got a good PA system that we do now. Whenever the number two batter is up on any team the first time, we play the recording of Bob Shepard introducing Derek Jeter, number two, as part of the game. We play Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Put Me in Coach, Glory Days. It all adds to a fun atmosphere.
Absolutely. And we were a part of it just yesterday. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to be out there and PA system and guys getting to hear their name called when they go up to bat and stuff. It just adds, it adds to our league and just makes it a little bit more fun for the guys. So it's been awesome for sure. Well, alrighty, Mario. Wow, we've gotten through half of a season already.
We're more like three quarters. Next week is the last week of the regular season, and then we go into the playoffs. So I'm looking forward. I'm excited. I'm happy where we're at. But we still need to finish the job. We need to have a good week and look forward to the playoffs. I thank you for all the hard work and efforts that you've done. And our social media is up 3 times what it used to be ever since you've gotten in that role. And I've got a lot of comments on this show. And thank you for making everything better.
Well, thank you, Mario. I appreciate that. And I'm sure we'll hear from each other soon. Absolutely. I know you'll be on here before the playoffs because we have to get the commissioner's opinions before playoff time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask for one. What's your prediction? Who's going to win it all this year?
I can't do that. I can't do that.
It's worth a shot. It was a shot in the dark.
It was a good shot. Good try.
Anything else before we go?
Play ball.
Play ball. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining episode number 3 of the Charles Johnson Summer League podcast. Again, I'm your host. Thank you again to Mario for joining on to the podcast today. We hope you guys enjoyed. Before we go, we have a couple messages from our sponsors, and we hope to see you guys this weekend at the AllStar game. Thank you guys again. Have a good one. We hope you enjoyed. Before we go, we have a couple of proud messages from our sponsors. First off, thank you to Axe Throwing Society for sponsoring today's podcast. Axe Throwing is one of the hottest attractions right now in the world, so make sure to check out Axe Throwing Society to get in on the fun. Also, we would like to thank Twin Peaks for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to check out Twin Peaks to get the best food, beer, and live sports. We appreciate all of our sponsors, and we hope to see you in the next video.